Hey, how's it going, YouTube? It's me again. I just got out of seeing the Book of Eli, so quick little blurb on that. Really good. Denzel Washington and Gary Oldman are two of my favorite actors. They're both really great outside of this movie, and especially in this movie. They both do a great job. Mila Kunis, beautiful as always, did a pretty good job. I recommend it highly. It actually brings up a pretty good point. I had a friend in high school. I don't really talk to her anymore. She's a really hardcore Christian. That's great. I'm a Christian too, but she's like, more so. She had a comment, I guess last year sometime, saying how there's no more God in Hollywood. Like, God is not present in Hollywood anymore. It's all about sex and blood and gore and stuff like that. And while this movie did have blood in it, and while this movie did have some cussing in it, the overall theme and was about God and faith and listening to the course that God sets out for you. So I guess the whole thing is just this movie proves that there is still God in Hollywood, and that faith is still up on the silver screen. Like, people jump to too many conclusions too often about movies or books or entertainment as a whole, saying that there's no God in it anymore, and it's wrong. it's flat out wrong. It's God is everywhere, regardless of whether you can see him, and this movie proves that. It proves it very, very well. So I recommend it for non-Christians, Christians alike. It's great. Great action, great story, great acting, all around good movie. Going to the movies actually brings up another point, not quite as serious. There was a lady in the movie, before the movie started, I'll give her this. Before the movie started, her phone was going off, and it went off like 3 or 4 times. And that's not a big deal. Like, if it's before the movie, whatever, not a big deal. It's during the movie that if it goes off, I get pissed. I like to think of myself as a movie buff. I like to think that I have a pretty good sense of what's good, and I'd like to think that I'm very respectable respectable. I'm a very respectful moviegoer. I always turn off my phone except for one time, and my fiance gives me a hard time about that one time, all the time. So except for one time, my phone has never gone off. I've certainly never answered my phone in the theater, and I never do. Like, it's rude to me. Like, whenever people text or answer their phone or don't turn their phone on silent, it's one of my biggest pet peeves. I hate it. I hate it when people go to the movies and don't have respect for the other people in the theater. That's the worst thing for me, because I get so angry. And so this lady, her phone didn't go off during the movie, but like before the movie, like, I wanted to say, you are going to turn that off, right? Like, you're going to like shut it up before the movie starts. I didn't, though. I was good. I held my tongue, and I'm glad I did, because like I said, the movie had to do with God, and I don't think God would have appreciated me biting that lady's head off in the movie theater. So, there you go. That's all I really have to talk about. I just wanted to mention, that one pet peeve for sure, because that's like my biggest one. I feel like my biggest pet peeve is, people being disrespectful in the movie theater. So, what's yours? I'll go ahead and ask the question. Seems like a cool thing to do. What is your pet peeve? Or what is your biggest pet peeve? Because I have multiple pet peeves, but that's my biggest one. So what's your biggest pet peeve? Mine. I figure you should share with me. If you noticed in my last video, I don't know if how many of you have watched it, but my last video figured out how to do the little captions and annotations. It's pretty nice, huh? So, like I said, once I figured it out, I was going to do it. And by God, I did it. So, I think I only had like 3, though. I think I had the name, and then the rate, and the subscribe. I think those were the only ones. I could be wrong. But, yeah, anyway, there you go. I'll catch up with y'all later.